Barbara this weekend when she was here, and she's all excited about Sunday. She's planning on being here with her husband and her grandchildren. And she said, I remember so clearly when this house opened, she said, because she lived in the neighborhood. She said, I was 7 years old, and everybody, my family and all the neighbors kept saying, the sisters are coming, the sisters are coming. And they were so excited to think that they were finally going to have sisters in Latham. And she just delighted in telling the story. So I asked her to come, but she wasn't feeling too well this morning, so that's her message.
Thank you. Thank you, Linda. And now Barbara St. Mary Andrews, who's here all the way from Ogdensburg, asked if she could say a word also.
I just wanted to say that you talked about Sister Verena and, you know, like being a little general and always being out there when we come home from a full day of school. But I just remember how kind she was, too. And it was true. We had to work very hard. But I feel a lot of my love of community and everything happened to me at every mission, but South Troy and the Provincial House always has a soft spot in my heart. It was my only second place. But it's the second place I came to, I mean. But I just love coming here. I always feel it was home. And I was the first person that had to take care of the tertians. So you all went off, the others all went off to college, and Sister Verena said that she had asked Mother Athanasius if I could stay. And my job was, I didn't start my master's yet. That happened to me on 2 or 3 missions. And I took care of the tertians, and I set up, you know, for breakfast and the dining room and everything for all the meals. And then I had to do collation. But then I was supposed to also be sure about 10 or 10:15 when I was done. Would I go to her little office and see if there was anything else to do? She never gave me anything to do. It was always, will you go and say your prayers, dear? And I would say to Aunt Africa, and we were good friends, and to Susan, you know, she doesn't give me anything, and there's just so much praying I can do. And I remember a tertian became ill, so I'd also go up on the hospital floor, you know, the 2A, and I'd visit with people. And I wasn't supposed to talk to the tertian, so I walked in one day, and I didn't know one had become ill. And I went into one of the rooms, I think it must have been 2A, and I started to visit with the person, and when she said where she was from, it was, I can't remember her name, she was a sister from Binghamton, oh, so full of life and enthusiastic. And the minute she told me, I'm one of the tertians, you know, that you set up for, and I said, oh, I'm not supposed to talk to you. I was under vows, you know, and oh, awful scared of things. And she said, honey, you come in any time and talk to me. And then I did. And the other thing that I remember, and I got permission from Nancy Smith to say it, the night before when we were setting up for the actual people from the community to come, like what it would be like here in June 30th, Nancy Smith said to me at supper, oh, see, it was exam week, and we had all these papers to do. And I shared third grade with, I was going to say Bridget too, with Susan. And Nancy had the all the history or science, I forget which subject, in the junior high. And she said, I've got so many papers. And Mother Verena had put some of us young ones, Barbara D. Tomasio, Marianne Bookman, myself, Nancy Smith, we were up on 5B because she wanted to be sure the plumbing worked. And so people were scattered. And later I was one with Barbara Crick in the summer before I left here. I got changed that year to Schenectady. My heart was broken. And I was down also in B through the summer. But I mean, ground floor. But anyway, she's saying, you know, I don't know how I'm going to get this history all done, all these papers correct. I said, look, you know, there's only 5 of us up in 5B. I said, go up quietly. And she was assigned to the dining room. It was hours in that dining room. And then at one point, the tablecloths, they had all the tablecloths on, and they thought they were too wrinkled. And they all came off and had to go to the laundry again. But I said, there's only 5 of us up there and 5. You just go up, do a bunch, shut your door, do a bunch of papers, and when you feel then you got a little bulk of it ahead of you, come on back downstairs. Well, and I said, nobody's going to know you're up there. She wasn't up longer than 10 or 15 minutes, she reminded me last night, and there was this knock on the door, and Sister Verena had realized she wasn't there. And I always felt guilty because I'm the one that told her to do it. And she came downstairs so upset. But like when you were saying about the nights staying up so late and everything, a lot of people didn't realize we were doing all of this review week and exam week, you can imagine. But she was awful kind, and anytime she saw me, did you get enough to eat? Did you get enough to eat? Are the things not locked? This was an old South Joy, but also here. And she was very, very sad because when more people came in that first summer, she did have to go to the microphone one night and say that the ice cream freezer was going to be locked. And you could tell it just bothered her so, because I guess things were disappearing. And she didn't want to have to tell us.
Thank you. So this concludes our program.
Denise,
Oh,
I
there's
just
one
say
other
one
person.
thing, even though I don't have permission to speak?
Speak into the microphone.
I probably don't even need it. I feel very left out because while you people all had it easy here and having a good time, we were back at the old SEM packing boxes, and not one picture was ever taken of us closing those tops up. But we did. We were warned within an inch of our life when we got here with boxes to keep away from the walls. If we heard that once, we must have heard it 50 times from E.T. And so we're conscientiously moving these boxes in, and I got too close to the wall and put a great big black mark on this newly painted novitiate wall. Well, I thought my life was over. I went to Roberta, poor Roberta, who had more than she could handle. Don't worry, dear. I'll take care of it. I'll take care of the wall getting clean. Don't even think about it. So that was my memory, and as I say, it's sad because not one picture, I don't think, is available of all that packing and all the novices getting on the buses to move down to 741. That is just a piece of history that was just never captured. It's too bad. But
Thank you.
Well, we want to say thanks to all of our presenters. Is there someone else?
Yeah, I want to say,
Okay.